Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go preach.
Hanifa Khan versus Mary Barnes, 24-04225. Council appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Sean Mott on behalf of the plaintiff, Hanifa Khan, and appearing with me is Mr. Mohammed Khan, who is acting under a durable power of attorney.
And please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Mary Barnes.
Okay, so today was the date that was scheduled for a hearing. If there's a motion for summary disposition, set this out because we were waiting for response from your office, Mr. Mock, which we do have. Let's see. I think the issue from this motion is that there was allegations that there was another pending matter.
Those are the allegations raised by the defendant, Your Honor. She makes reference to a circuit court case. That matter has been concluded and a final order was issued in November of 2022.
2022?
I'm sorry, let me just verify. Yeah, the matter is fully closed. The order dated November 15th of 2022 actually establishes Ms. Barnes' obligation to pay rent to the plaintiff. Ms. Barnes has exhausted her appeals rights. We did include a copy of the Court of Appeals order denying her claim of appeal as an exhibit to our motion. I'm sorry, our response to her motion. And in reality, Your Honor, this is a case to recover possession of the property. And of course, this district court has exclusive jurisdiction over summary proceedings. So the issue before the court, possession of the property, was not and could not have been addressed in the circuit court matter. Therefore, not only has that case been long closed and appeal rights exhausted, however, it doesn't involve the same claim.
If you want to respond.
Thank you for having me.
Oh.
Okay, so in pursuant to MCR 2.116, I am going to where we are with this case.
I gotta cut to the chase on this because I've read your motion.
Okay.
And I'm abreast on their motion, their response. You got their response?
No, I don't think
You never received it? You're saying?
No, this is a very highly, it's a case that's been going on for a long time.
No, I'm talking about Mr. Mock's response to your motion that you filed in this court. I'm not talking about what happened at another court.
Okay.
Did you get his response that he filed in this case?
Not that I know. Let me
Excuse me, Your Honor. I don't believe anybody here is an attorney representing
not an attorney.
Ms. Barnes.
You're asking someone else if you received the mail?
I asked some people help me with my mail, some of them come here. And so I'm, the issue.
Where's all the paperwork that you received for this case before the court? Where is it? Is it with you here?
No, I don't have all of that.
Okay, so you don't recall if you read a response?
Hold on, just for a second, I had 5 minutes with one of mine. So.
No, we're not here.
Okay, well,
unless you're represented by an attorney.
Okay, no, let me say this.
Stop, one moment, off the record. Is there a problem?
I'm going to read this information that's been framed.
Off the record. Yeah, I hear a lot of grunting. I just don't know if there's a problem.
It's a 2.
I'm not talking to you, ma'am. Is there a problem? I don't know who the grunting's from.
No, I wasn't grunting.
Okay.
At all.
No, you can't. We have to wait for her computer to reboot. Okay, we're back on the record. Sir, you state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is William Phillips.
You had your hand up?
Yes, I have a question. This is my business partner. This is my.
Okay.
She's in severe amount of pressure.
Okay.
Not trying to cut no exceptions, but for the sake of how the court renders its decision, even in the matter for her to be able to make an appeal, she has something very important that she can maintain her composure for the record. Is she be allowed to read?
Your question is she going to be allowed to read?
Can she read?
Oh, she can absolutely read if she has something that she wants to, but I don't, what is the question that you have for the court? I'm confused.
It's really a presentation. The question is just basically, for the record, that information needs to be on the record. Whatever course that this court takes, it's okay. But she needs to utter it herself. She's under a lot of pressure. And if
She's under a lot of pressure from whom?
From the whole process, this case gone to 2.5 years.
This case, let me be clear. This case has not been going on 2.5 years. This case is a case for eviction. This case is a 2024 case. Whatever has been going on at the circuit court is not this case. That's what needs to be clear. We only liquidate the property here. We're not dealing with ownership in this court. You understand that, ma'am?
I understand what you just said.
And the concern that Mr. Mock has is also the concern of the court, is that you have the right to be represented by an attorney. We advised you that earlier. But you don't have the right, nor is it legal for you to get advice, legal advice, from people outside of the bar. If you are getting legal advice from people outside of the bar, that's against the law. They can be prosecuted.
Okay.
So we are trying to prevent that. That won't happen in this court. Okay?
I'm going to ask for an attorney. And I'm asking,
you have to hire an attorney if that's what you want.
You say I have to hire.
You have the right to an attorney, but you would have to hire your attorney if that's what you wanted to do. We advise you of that your first court date. We have a whole video that tells you that.
Okay. Let me say it like this. This is a case that has gone on 2.5 years.
Not this case.
I understand what you said.
The case at the circuit court is what you're talking about, correct?
I'm asking for an attorney.
I'm going to ask you to step outside.
I'm asking for an attorney.
You would have to have hired an attorney. Okay. We don't give you an attorney for a civil matter. And this matter has been adjourned, giving you ample time. Can you close the door, please? To hire an attorney. You've not done that. I'm not in the business of antics to prolong a court case.
Well, let me say this. I have not seen my sister in court for 3 years. This case has gone on for 3 years. She has cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And I haven't seen her in 3 years. I have 2 other sisters. And my other 2 sisters are not part of this case, nor is my sister. Because I stand basically on a state law that gives me ownership of the property, because my mother, when my mother passed, I was taking care of her and had taken care of her for years. And I lived in her home from 2001.
The home that this is the address here.
The home that is that address here.
Okay.
This home I lived in from 2000, well, probably, well, I know for sure 2020. Okay. And I took care of all the time she was alive. And I made all of the bill payments. I was a tenant, and I think it's called tenant in common. So the fact is, I had been taking care of her, paying her bills and everything in that property.
Okay.
Okay. My brother-in-law here.
Your brother-in-law who?
Mr. Khan.
Mr. Khan is your brother-in-law.
Is my brother-in-law.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Who has never shown interest until it looked like it was a payoff. Okay. My sister.
He's married to your sister?
He's married to my sister.
Okay.
Who I have not seen in 3 years. She has not called me because she has physical problems. I'll give her that.
Was that who Hanifa Khan is?
Hanifa Khan.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get understanding here because what you're telling me now is background information that's not relative to this particular case, but relative to the case over at that you had at the circuit court. Ownership.
Yes.
Because we don't deal with ownership of property here in this court at all. I have no jurisdiction over ownership of a property.
Oh, well then perhaps. I mean, the fact is, I've gone 3 years taking care of the property and coming to each one of these court dates to find that documents have not been the documents that we send have not been stamped. The dates do not correspond with the dates on paper. I've got papers this high, okay, coming from the court.
Which court?
From the court of all the way through the court of.
No, which I want you to be very specific. Which court?
The court, the circuit court.
Okay.
The court of
Did
appeals.
did this go through probate court at all?
It just.
Did your mother have a will?
Yeah, my mother did not have a will.
She owned this address 1311 Chester
correct.
Road.
And I lived with her and took care of her.
I recognize that, but I asked about ownership. Your mher owned 1311 Chester.
That's correct.
And she did not have a will.
And she did not have. She had her last will was one that she died. I guess intestate.
Okay, without a will.
Without a will.
Yeah, she died without a will, so it went to probate. Correct?
Right.
And they decided who owned the property?
Which was me.
Your Honor,
I'm letting her answer my questions. You said probate court decided you own the property?
That's right.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then of course the property we went through her records.
Your mother's
my
records?
mother's records.
Okay.
We found that the will that she had been well, I kind of need my notes when I'm telling this story because the story is long and arduous.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just glad you giving me background information. I don't have control over the will being broken. I don't have control over who was deemed the owner.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you were supposed to take care over there. Over here, we decide based on who is the lawful owner.
I am.
Who can be, well, you have to bring me proof of that. And if you have lost being the lawful owner, or you believe that was wrong, that's probably an issue that's not before this court. You filed a motion saying that there was another case pending. You signed that.
When was that?
When you filed your motion for summary disposition, you said that there was another case pending for this same matter.
Well, that's it. I know that right now this case is in federal court.
What federal court? What's the case number?
Let me kind of go through what the notes I had here so that you can see where we're at. Okay.
I don't want to know where that case goes because that's not before me. I'm already asking you more information than I'm supposed to have for this case.
Okay.
If you tell me that there is a federal case pending, and we went through this, you and I went through this the last time, you need to give me the case number.
Okay.
Because I can look it up right now and tell you if there's a federal case pending.
Okay, right now.
And there's a federal case pending for possession of the property or ownership is what you're saying.
I have possession of the property right now and I have ownership.
No, but as you said, there's a case pending. What's the case about that's before the federal court?
It is about several different different information.
Who filed it, ma'am?
I did.
You filed it when?
Probably in April
of this year. You filed a federal lawsuit? Naming who?
Naming who in the lawsuit?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, of course, my brother-in-law.
Okay, Mr. Khan.
Judge. What's his name?
You named Judge Jamo?
Judge Jamo. Judge I don't understand why you don't have the documentation,
Why would I have it?
because it was sent to you. I mean, sent.
The federal lawsuit?
I'm saying, I have it, and it would be available to you. I don't know, I thought that you would have received it by now, because
I'm trying to understand, why would I have received the federal lawsuit?
of the improprieties.
I don't just receive people's federal lawsuits just because there's improprieties.
Okay.
Did you send us the federal? When did you send it, ma'am?
You should have received that. Let's see, the last time we were here in the courtroom. So I'm gonna say, let's see, I'm gonna say like August, like July, August.
I received your motion for summary disposition. You remember filing that, ma'am?
Yes,
That's when you said that there was another lawsuit pending.
yes,
You asserted that based on Michigan Court Rule 2.116C6, and pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 2.113C3, that you were moving to have this case dismissed. You said the purpose of this rule was to prevent the same plaintiff from harassing parties with new lawsuits that involve the same question as a pending litigation.
there is a pending litigation against Judge Jamal. There is a pending litigation against Judge his attorney.
But it has to be about the same question.
It is about the improprieties that have taken place from the time this started. See, the fact is, this should have never been anything more than a probate court case, really, because I have three other sisters. I have three sisters, and one of the sisters is his wife. Okay?
I understand.
And what I'm saying is, his attorney filed a case for him.
Okay.
But instead of filing it in probate, okay, he filed it in the court of appeal. The court of the circuit court.
Okay.
And when he filed that in the circuit court, he had no means really to file that in the circuit court, because my mother, when she died intestate without a will. But because I had lived with her for so many years and had taken care of her and had taken care of all of her business, I came under a Michigan state law, which provided for me, I was identified then as the owner of the property.
What Michigan state law?
Oh, gee. I wish I had brought all that information with
Did you want me to have you removed from blurting out in the middle of my courtroom?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I don't have all those papers with me. But let's see. That law, and I have it, but I just don't have it here with me.
And so you're suing Judge Jamo for what?
Well, Judge Jamo, if you will look at the record.
Which record, ma'am?
Filed in December.
In this court?
Not in this court, no.
Ma'am, I can't go look at another court's record.
Well, then
we're separate courts.
Then what you don't have is the proper information.
How am I supposed to have it? That's what you're not understanding.
No.
Ma'am, let me have you stop talking now. Because I've heard enough from you. You need to listen to me now. And I need you to listen so that you understand. I don't have access, nor do I have concern or jurisdiction over whatever may be happening in a federal court. I don't have access, nor do I have concern or jurisdiction over what may be happening in a circuit court. You are trying to conflate the courts and make this all one jurisdiction, and that's not how courts work.
But
I already asked you to be quiet while I explain this to you. You filed something in the circuit court. There was a ruling in the circuit court. There's nothing pending in the circuit court.
Because it was never fought.
There's not, ma'am, I asked you to be quiet while I explain
I'm sorry, I
this.
thought you were trying to have a dialogue.
No, I'm not, because I asked
Okay.
you to be
Okay.
quiet and listen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There's nothing pending in the circuit court. I can stop my eviction only if there's something pending in another court and they have to send me an order telling me we have something pending, you have to hold your case. I don't have that.
Okay. So would I pull that all together and then send it directly to you?
It has no evidentiary value, meaning you pulling stuff from other courts does not tell me that I have to legally stop this eviction. Another court has to tell me that. Miss Barnes can't tell me that. That's how courts work.
Okay.
You had a case in circuit court. You didn't get through what you wanted, the ruling that you wanted. You don't get to now go and tell me to go look at the circuit court and see what happened over there, or tell me to go look at the federal court. We don't do that.
Okay.
It's outside, it's improper. If you had a properly filed case that was pending that would stop this eviction, meaning we're looking at what happened here while we are reviewing that, a court of higher review, while we're reviewing that, you need to pause that, then they would have an order, and that would prevent me from moving forward until they make that decision. I don't have anything provided. I don't even have a valid case number telling me that there's something pending. Now you can respond.
Okay. In pursuant to MCR 2.116 A 1, 2, and B. Does that have anything to do with this?
Yes, but that's just a court rule.
Okay.
So keep going.
Judgment on stipulated facts is what I wanted to discuss. One, the parties to a civil action may submit an agreed upon stipulation of facts to the court.
Okay.
So this, I'm giving you, I see where I'm at now, because I'm now giving you the information you need to make a decision on whether or not you're going to move forward with their complaint. When what I'm trying to say to you here is the progression of what has happened in this case.
I recognize there was a progression of what happened, ma'am.
Okay, so the parties to a civil action may submit an agreement of stipulation of facts to the court. Number two.
Let me stop you right there. I don't want to break your thought, but did you all enter a stipulation of facts? Because you're citing stipulation of facts. The parties would be you and then Mr. Khan. Did you all have a or Miss Khan? Do you all have a stipulation of facts?
The way that I was given this information, it says that if the parties have stipulated to facts sufficient to enable the court to enter judgment in the action, this court shall do so.
Okay. But I'm stopping you there because I now need to know, are you saying that you and Mr. Khan have a stipulate, or Miss Khan, Hanifa Khan, because that's the party, have a stipulation of facts? Because those are the parties in this case.
Okay.
Is that, I'm asking a question, man.
Yes, a stipulation. Could you, is that something that you can just give me?
You want me to explain what stipulation?
A definition.
Stipulation is mean you agree on things. We both agree that it's sunny outside. That would be a stipulation. Mm-hmm. We're gonna both. I don't need you to prove that it's sunny. We can look outside. I'll agree to that. Mm-hmm. So you're saying that rule that you're saying is that the both parties can agree on something, essentially. So I'm asking you, did you and Hanifa Khan agree on something?
Nothing.
So then why are you bringing that rule to me?
Because of the fact that we have gone all the way from the court.
Yes.
The court system.
You went to various courts.
Court system. Okay.
Who helped you write that, ma'am?
Help me write this.
Yes.
This I pulled out of my own information that
Where
I
did you find it?
Well, I found it in various law books on the internet.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like people who are not familiar with court is trying to find pieces. That's what it sounds like to me, ma'am.
I talk to individuals who are, have legal backgrounds.
Lawyers?
Lawyers.
And why don't you have a lawyer representing you, ma'am?
No, not lawyers. I've talked to individuals who are, who have education. They've gotten a degree.
I don't care that you could have a degree in bioscience, be the smartest top of the class. Doesn't mean you know anything about filing paperwork in law. Did you talk to lawyers, ma'am?
I've talked to.
That's a yes or no question.
And I haven't talked to a lawyer.
That's your first issue. You're trying to get non-lawyers to assist you. You've had two gentlemen in the back, which I'm sure they care very much about you, but they're doing you a disservice because they're very disruptive, and they're not lawyers. You need a lawyer if you believe that you actually have a claim somewhere. You needed to get a lawyer. And I can tell you one thing. If you brought a case to a lawyer, a civil lawyer, saying, I've been wronged, X, Y, and Z, the lawyer, most lawyers will take cases contingency, meaning they don't get paid until you get paid. But you have not brought, you don't even have a lawyer. You're telling me about a stipulation of facts. You gave me a courtroom, ma'am, about stipulation of facts, and that has no basis here because you and the party have not stipulated to anything.
And so the only thing you're saying that I could get out of this court, is to give you information that tells you that I own this property and that my sister has no ownership to the property.
Well, this is an eviction. We only are dealing with eviction here. So that means that they have presented themselves as being the lawful owner of the property.
And which way was that?
Excuse me, what?
How did they do that?
They filed a complaint saying that they were the lawful owner of the property and that you needed to leave. They wanted you to vacate the property. You were served, I'm assuming, with notice to quit, correct?
I haven't received a notice.
That would have been earlier on in the beginning of the case. There was a demand. There was a demand for possession.
When you got the information from them, did you read the information that has been submitted on this piece of property, my property? Did you read any of that information?
What information are you talking about, ma'am?
I'm talking about the fact that we have set 3 years. We have set with Judge Kennedy. We have set with
Judge Jamo.
Jamo, who again he left the case and then came back reincarnated.
Reincarnated.
He reincarnated himself.
What does that mean?
And in other words, now he is a judge.
Judge Jamo?
Jamo, who was on the case, never had it in the.
It wasn't originally assigned to him, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and then came back. Okay, in the next year, trying to solve the same case.
Okay, so you started off with Judge Kennedy, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I started off with Judge Kennedy.
Yeah, and then Judge Kennedy retired. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, I guess he did.
He retired. So when he retired,
he retired last year.
When he retired, his case has got to be reassigned.
Mm-hmm.
So is that possibly what happened? Not reincarnated. Reincarnated means someone died and came back to life.
I believe me, I know what reincarnated means.
Well, you said that Judge Jamo reincarnated.
He did. He came back and filed a case that he had filed before.
Judge Jamo filed the case?
And started to try the same case.
Judge Jamo filed the case.
Jamo.
How did he file a case? He can't file a case.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He did. on
He can't,
that- on-
he can't file a case.
But you
And if
know,
he files a case, that means he's the plaintiff.
he filed a case as attorney.
He filed it as the attorney, Judge Jamo did.
Jamo did.
Where's the proof of that,
Okay,
ma'am?
yeah, if you want proof, I can send you real proof. Because see, the thing is, what I was talking about today is all of the opinions is what I had to give you today. Okay, in pursuant to MCR 2.116A 1, 2, 3, 1(2)(b), a judgment on stipulated facts. 1, the parties to a civil action, and I'm kind of slow because I have an eyesight problem.
No problem, take your time.
May submit an agreed upon stipulation of fact to the court. 2, if the parties have stipulated to face sufficient to enable the court to render judgment in the action, the court shall do so. Therefore, I move to sub B, sub C, and sub 5. The party asserting the claim backs the legal capacity sub and sub. Therefore, because it's the opinion of the orders of I have a little bit of a
I recognize that, ma'am. I'm letting you read
void
it.
because it
Did you want me to read it?
you might have just as much fun reading my
Did you write it?
yes,
I can read it
okay.
into the record.
Okay. And so let me just give you the rest of this.
Give
'cause
me.
I did write this. Okay, so this is as I stated in my summary disposition on page 3, paragraph 4, the Michigan Supreme Court in Fox versus Board of Regents of University of Michigan, 375, Michigan 238, 134, NW 2nd, 146, 1965. Hell, when a court is without jurisdiction of subject matter, any action with respect to the cause often then to a cause often then to dismiss it is absolutely void. ID at 243. So it's just a quote. It would take to dismiss your attention to direct your attention to the deficient reply brief to plaintiffs opposition to the court. Okay, so we're talking about Austin V. Smith, 312 F Federal Second District, 337 34 D CCIR 1962, asserting a decision produced by fraud upon the court is not in essence a decision at all, never becomes final and void, because there is fraud in this court that I have been with 3 years now. going from one court under Judge, his.
JMO?
JMO. No, not JMO.
Kennedy?
No. Judge. Start with that.
There was another judge?
You remember the first? Well, Judge Garcia.
Judge Garcia too?
All of these people have been involved in this case.
Okay. They've all made a ruling on this case?
They've all made a ruling at different times on this case.
Okay, and you believe their rulings were fraud?
Fraud.
Okay.
There's no stamped communication from one court to the next.
No stamped communication from any of those judges?
Judges.
So you're saying you don't have any orders that were stamped by the court, is what you're saying?
I'm saying that I don't have any orders stamped by the court.
From any of those judges?
That's right.
Telling you that the case was dismissed, granted, or anything, is what you're saying?
Yes, and I have to say, and this is not, I'm not trying to be condescending at all, but I'm amazed that the amount of information that has moved from my house to the judge's court, JMO, excuse me, Winters.
I don't know who Winters is.
He's been around a long time.
There's no Judge Winters in Ingham County.
There is a Judge Winters.
There's no Judge Winters in Ingham County.
Muhammad doesn't know who it is, who I'm talking about.
I recognize that. I know every judge in Ingham County.
Well, there's Judge Winters, J.K. Winters.
There is no Judge Winters.
Oh, you're saying in Ingham County?
In Ingham County. That's where this house is, Ingham County.
Mm-hmm. Judge Winters is in, what is East Lansing, Ingham County?
Yes, there's only two judges in East Lansing. There's no
Judge Winters.
There's no Judge Winters.
Judge, these are false, deceptive, or misleading representatives or means in connection with the collection of any debt. C X -C. Request an order to seize property, J.K. Winters, combined with an unsatisfied judgment of $32,000, $120.
What is that? What is that from that you're reading? What is that information?
This information right here is coming from the federal debt collection practice. Like I said, this case.
That was sent to you, or did you type that, ma'am?
No. This was sent to me.
Okay, that was this paper that you're reading was sent to you?
Yeah.
Okay, can she show me what that is? Because I just need to understand what you're reading. Thank you. Man, this is what you did. This wasn't sent to you. You typed this.
Why do you think I typed that?
Because it says respectfully submitted, Mary L. Barnes.
Oh yes, this is.
So you did type that.
Yeah.
I asked you, was it something that you typed or did you submit?
In correspondence to Judge JMO.
That's essentially, I think, what you filed with the court. That's one of the pages of it. Is what it looks like.
Yes.
What you filed with this court. But I'm going to be quite frank, ma'am. You're all over the place. I don't really think you know what you're doing.
I do.
I know you think you do. But you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You believe there's a Judge Winters. There's not a Judge Winters in Ingham County at all. But you would rather dispute me on that versus me explain to you there's no Judge Winters here. You're also citing case law and court rule that really doesn't apply here. I don't know if you actually have an issue or a claim going on at circuit court. All I know is that you haven't brought me anything that says I'm supposed to stop this case because something is pending, and that's what I would need. This gentleman behind you has a note that I think he wants to give you. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get that note from him.
Okay. Okay, so this is he did pull the case number.
For the federal court?
For why I own the house. Since we're going to talk just about who owns this house.
You believe you're the lawful owner of the home?
I am the lawful owner.
What is
of
the case number, ma'am?
MCL.
That's a, no ma'am, that's not a case number.
It's a
That's
Michigan
Michigan compiled law.
compiled
That's
law.
what MCL means.
That's it. 700.7401.
That's not a case. That's not a case number, ma'am. A case number means the court. So, like for example, when I called your case today, I said case number 24-04224.
Okay.
225 is your case number. I was asking for the case number in the federal court to show me that there's something pending there. I already have the case numbers from the circuit court, but it's nothing pending there. And so you're citing a law. You're citing that law before me. I can't do anything with that law. We don't deal with ownership here.
Okay. So what are we attempting to do today?
Today is an eviction hearing. If you say you're the lawful owner, then you need to show me where you had lawful deed and that they're wrong. They don't have a deed to this property. They don't own this property. Well, they must have gotten it.
I stand under MC.
I know what you're standing under, but you're standing under in the wrong court. You were supposed to stand under it over there. If they didn't grant it, then that means that you didn't have a lawful right to it. If they, ma'am, you need to listen when I'm talking. If you stood under it at the circuit court and they didn't grant it, that means the court took the position that you did not have the lawful right under that law to maintain ownership. If you disagree with them, your right is to appeal it to the circuit court.
I did.
If the circuit court didn't grant it to you, it's because they agreed. If the Court of Appeals didn't grant you, they agreed with the circuit court. You can't now come to the district court and try to stand on it. I cannot go over the Court of Appeals' head. I don't have any jurisdiction over it.
But I didn't need to stand on it in probate court. Because did you say probate court?
No, I didn't. I said if you asserted that law at the circuit court and they still didn't give you what you were asking for, then you were supposed to. No, that's not a due process right. Due process is your right to have your court proceedings.
Well, yes.
Which you did. But you didn't like the ruling. If you didn't like the ruling, you think they made an error, then you go to the Court of Appeals, which you say you did. And then you didn't like their ruling either.
No.
So then you can apply to go to the Supreme Court. If they don't take your case, it's because they reviewed and they don't believe you have a case. You understand that? You can't now come and say that everybody is fraudulent because you have exhausted your administrative rights and your legal rights. If that's, you may have gotten it wrong. You haven't even talked to an attorney. Who told you that that was the law that you were supposed to stand under? Was it the men behind you? Did they tell you that that was what you're supposed to stand on? This was the law. Answer my question, ma'am.
Yes, both of them.
I know they did. I know they did. What's their relation to you?
They're friends.
They're your friends? You have a business, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
What kind of business do you have?
I have a public relations.
Public relations business, and they're your business partners?
We've worked together.
Son, you didn't answer my question. You're evading my questions, kind of.
Sort of, I am right now.
Yeah.
Because and the reason is because we're not talking about people.
No, I am, because he stood in my court, open court, and told me that he was your business partner, and I'm trying to, and so that's why I'm asking you, because I want to know if you all are telling the truth.
Yes, we are telling the truth.
He's your business partner.
We have a business together.
What business?
We're a public relations.
What's the name of it?
The business is in my name.
The business name is what? Where can I find records of this business?
You can find records.
Where, I said, can I find it?
Well, just as I have the name on record. And that is
it's Mary Barnes?
Yes.
Is the name of the business?
Yes.
Public relations?
Yes.
And what ownership percentage does he have?
Right now, it stands.
No, that's not the answer. What ownership? Because he told me he was your business partner. I'm trying to, so part of my job as a judge is to determine when people are being truthful.
Well,
and so I now have to determine if I now need to determine if what you're telling me is truthful, because I am asking you questions, you're evading them, and you are not giving me the answers that I want.
Them.
Well, then answer the question. You're gonna answer the question, or I'm going to terminate this hearing in their favor.
Okay, good. Garage sale supersize. My my business is recorded here in
Garage
state-
sale superside?
Yeah,
And
I'm sorry, the garage sale supersize is one of my business.
he's your business partner in that business?
Yeah.
Okay, and so if I pull that, when I pull that information in 2 minutes off of the
But
Lara
it's-
website, his
but-
name is on there?
But not the garage sale supersize, because it has taken a real.
When I pull the records off licensing and regulatory affairs, his name's gonna be on there?
My name will be on.
No, he said he was your business
Well,
partner,
I mean-
but don't talk over me one more time. He said he was your business partner, you said he was. What business do you all have co-ownership? Because I'm gonna verify it right here, because I wanna know if you're telling the truth.
Okay.
Which business, ma'am?
Been so long. My business is it's stood new like the rest of this for about 2 years.
What's
Okay.
the mute?
My business.
Okay, which business was it?
Okay. Now you kind of work me down.
I broke you down.
Yeah, you.
I just asked you to tell me the
No,
truth.
I know, and it sounds like I'm having a very difficult time.
It does.
Okay, it sounds like I'm having a very
Are
difficult time.
these nice people with you?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I think they kind of think you're having a tough time too.
Yes, they're very nice people.
Yeah, they seem very nice, and they've not been disruptive at all. I can listen. I can tell when people are here to support and when people are here to control and manipulate.
This was not control. There's no control and manipulation.
You haven't told me
But
the business that you all are co-ownerships of.
Okay, I'm going to tell you if I can just bring it out. You pull me up. You now pull me into a bad situation.
Thank you.
I am 73 years old.
Okay.
Okay, I've had my business registered for probably 12 years. So it has gone from one type of business to another.
I'm sure.
Okay. And for some reason, I can't even put the name of it out right now because you have me so discombobulated.
I have you discombobulated. Imagine how I
No,
feel.
no,
I got all this
no,
information
and-
spinning, and
and-
I got you
and
want me to
the
figure out
piece
what's going on
the
when
piece
we're here
is-
for an eviction.
The piece is, yes, I know they're here for an eviction. Okay.
I'm here for an eviction. I only do. I don't do
I'm
ownership
telling
of property.
you, they really, truly don't have a leg stand.
Okay. I've heard enough, Mr. Mott.
Thank you, Your Honor. This case is fairly straightforward, but there is one nuanced fact, which is what I think she's getting at, what the circuit court has addressed, is that the plaintiff and the defendant are 2 of 4 joint owners of the property.
Okay.
It was an enhanced life estate deed executed by their mother to the 4 as joint tenants
Okay.
with rights of survivorship. And the
4
circuit...
sisters.
4 sisters, correct.
And 1 sister is married to your client.
Correct.
Or 1 sister is your client. He has-
is my client.
got it,
And
okay.
Mr. Khan is power of attorney. And the circuit court, in applying Michigan law, which holds that when one joint tenant exclusively occupies a property to the exclusion of the other joint tenants, they must pay rent. And I do have a circuit court order. I've got 2 of them. They are certified, if I may approach.
You mean they're stamped?
Stamped certified
Contrary
copies.
to what Ms. Barnes said, that she didn't get anything stamped?
Yes, Your Honor. It
Did Ms.
established,
Did Ms. Barnes see these?
they were attached to the summons and complaint, Your Honor.
Approved as the form by J.K. Winters, P.C.,
J.K. Wentz.
not a judge.
What is it? No, I didn't say judge.
You did. You told me that he's been around a long time. I said there's no judge in Ingham County. You said he's in East Lansing, maybe Eaton County. I told you very clearly, I said, ma'am, there's no J.K. Winter judge here.
Attorney.
It must be an attorney, but this is signed by Judge Clinton Kennedy III.
Signed by it. Is it stamped under the heading of the does it have a stamp?
What stamp are you looking for?
The stamp that certifies that they put this through the court system.
So what happens is this is a court order. And so typically what we will do, like we'll have a hearing, and let's say I were to grant your favor, you're not an attorney. So typically if I were to grant in the a favor of the non-attorney, I'm still gonna ask the attorney to make the order because they know how to do an order.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So let's say that what I've received as orders during this 2.5, 3-year period of time since my mother passed.
Okay.
I have no idea why you wouldn't have gotten anything from those letters
From who?
from the court.
Why would I get anything from that court? Why would I?
But what you're saying is that you have the power to foreclose on the house.
No, I don't. I never said that. I don't do foreclosures.
Okay, so-
Foreclosure has to deal with ownership.
Ownership.
I don't deal with ownership. I deal with liquidation. We get the people out. Or we say, no, you have a lawful right to stay in. That's what we deal with here.
Okay.
I don't deal with foreclosure. I don't deal with wills and estates, probate, sale. I don't deal with any of those
You deal
things.
only with foreclosure.
I don't deal, no foreclosure. I don't deal with that. I only deal with now who needs to leave the property. Do you have a lawful right to hold?
I have a
to stay in the
lawful
property.
right to be in the property.
So what I'm going to do is read these.
There was no will.
Okay, I recognize that, but he clarified because when you were explaining it to me, it was a little unclear. But what it sounds like is that the 4 sisters jointly own the property.
No.
Well, that's not what this says. I have court order here. Now I got court paperwork. I was waiting for the court paperwork all day. I got some here. Order from the court. File number 21-0787. This is in the circuit court, the 30th Circuit Court. It is ordered that the subject property located at 1311 Chester Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan, cannot be partitioned. They can't separate it up, okay? It says it is further ordered that the life estate was extinguished by the 2018 deed. It is further ordered. This is not a discussion. This is me reading an order. It is further ordered that the plaintiff and other remaining survivors have an interest in the property and therefore have a right to reimbursement of rent and expenses. It is further ordered that defendant Mary Barnes is in default. It is further ordered that the hearing for damages after default will be held in this court on September 22nd, 2022 at 9 o'clock via Zoom. That was signed by Judge Clinton Kennedy III. Don't, ma'am.
Oh, excuse me.
That was signed by Judge Clinton Kennedy on September 8th, 2022, 2 years ago. This is a certified copy. That means that the court's not going to stamp it unless we're giving out certified copy. That's the stamp is this raised thing right here that you can feel.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me know that this is what the court actually filed. Mm-hmm. This is a certified copy that he received to provide to me so he could let me know, hey, this is a certified copy. I didn't just make this up in my computer. So that's one order that I have here. And so I have another order. It says order granting plaintiff's motion on damages. This is also by Judge Kennedy.
Kennedy?
Judge Clinton Kennedy III.
And what's the date on it?
November 15th, 2022. This matter having come before the court pursuant to the plaintiff being Hanifa Khan and Virginia Armstrong versus you, Mary Barnes. It says the plaintiff having submitted its brief and oral argument and the court having reviewed the same and otherwise being fully advised in the premises, wherefore it is hereby ordered that the fair market value of rent for the subject property is $1,500 per month. The defendant, Mary Barnes, has been occupying the property from November 27, 2022 to the present without paying rent to the co-owners of the subject property. The defendant must pay $1,500 monthly rent on the subject property, which shall be shared equally among the co-owners of the subject property. Plaintiff's out-of-pocket expenses and other legal fees, see below, pertaining to the subject property must be paid equally among the co-owners of the subject property. Defendant is also liable for rent not paid from November 2022 to present, of which $375 per month is owed to plaintiff. Plaintiff is entitled to her 1/4 share of rent, which is $375 per month. So she's only trying to seek her portion. I don't know what the other sisters are seeking. This is just one portion. The reimbursement of the plaintiff's legal fees. Don't cut me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The reimbursement of the plaintiff's legal fees in prosecuting this matter shall be subject to approval of the court upon motion and submission of costs. Also a certified copy signed by Judge Clinton Kennedy. So they have orders showing where they're not saying that you're not a lawful owner, they say that you have possession, and that the court ruled that because you possess it and there's joint owners, that you have to pay rent to stay in there. You've not been paying rent. You've tried to litigate this in the circuit court. It's not successful on your part. You've gone to the Court of Appeals. Not successful on your part. You didn't bring me anything saying, hey, Supreme Court has taken this case up. They said, wait, hold this. That's not what happened. We're moving forward with the eviction. What lawful right did you have not to pay the rent?
Then I own the property.
Judgment in favor of the plaintiff. You can get that back.
I have a proposed order. Would you like me to?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I had two separate orders. Supposed to her.
Those are Mr. Mott's. But if she wants a copy, we're happy to give her a copy.
Is there any document that I could fill out, like by tomorrow, that would indicate to you where this case currently stands?
That can indicate where the property currently stands. I have documents here. We're giving you a copy of this, which is this. We can get you a copy of his certified docs if you wanted that.
I have non-certified copies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that shows us where the property is. That you own this with your sisters.
I don't own this. I own it free and clear.
But you didn't bring me anything, and this is not the first time we've come to court for that.
This is the first time I've been in court.
No, you came before because I reset it.
And you reset it.
You can't. Yeah, but you didn't. This is the second time we've had this court date, and you've not brought anything to show me that you're the lawful owner solely. To the contrary, I have a certified copy from the court that you are not the sole owner. That you own this with your siblings.
I'm standing on state law. The state law.
Okay. Well, you can stand on the state law and stand on it on the way outside because judgment is in favor of them.
And so when do I have to be out of this? Out of my.
The law gives you 10 business days, or 10 days. That's not 10 business days. The law gives you 10 days to get out of the property. You can negotiate that time frame with Mr. Mock. And his
yes.
Well, you don't do it on the record because I don't need to know when you're going to get out. He has not even, I don't think, put a date on here.
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I would request September 19th.
And so that he's giving you 10 days from today. That's going to be on a Thursday. You would have to pay $17,625 plus costs of $177.47, or vacate the property by the 19th of September. You can pay that amount or vacate by that date, okay?
Let me ask you, can I ask one more question?
You absolutely can.
Did my brother-in-law have the right to come to my house with a gun?
I don't know. I have no idea what's happening there. If someone comes to your house with a gun, you want to call the police, and hopefully you did call the police, okay?
And got order against.
Okay. Hopefully that's what happened. We're going to get you a copy of this order, okay?
Yeah.
It's not going to be stamped, just so you know.
So
it's just signed by me.
Did you say to me that the only thing this court does is land
eviction?
Eviction.
We do not deal with ownership. We don't deal with wills. Mm-hmm. We don't deal with foreclosure issues. We don't deal with any of those things. And if you owed more than $25,000 in rent, we couldn't deal with that either. It would have to go to the circuit court.
And that's where.
Excuse me?
It's already.
It's been there already, but you didn't get what you wanted there.
It's
not in the circuit court.
Okay.
Will the court upload those signed orders through my file?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
But we'll get you a copy today.
Thank you for working late on a Monday.
Yes, sir.
Second about Judge Waters, Ashley Dax. They are a former attorney.
Judge who?
Winters is a lawyer.
Yeah, I read it. It's on there. J.K. Winters is a lawyer. His name is on there. Call the record in the matter of Brook Church versus Bruce Hicks in Unlimited Potential. 23-01873.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian on behalf of.
Okay, and so my hope and understanding that you all were going to try to work on a resolution of the damages, Mr. Rum.
I did talk to Ms. Church about her damages, but we did not come to an agreement.
This file doesn't have it on basement. Why were you not able to come to resolution of that?
Documents she provided, Your Honor, were prepared by herself, self-serving, not independently verified. A number of the documents were not, the dates provided were not around the dates of the injuries she sustained. So that's why we went to.
Okay, can I see what she provided you? Well, I want to see what he got from you, if he has it. Can you explain these receipts, ma'am?
These are the receipts that I would give to somebody when they come and pick up their purchase. I also have like Facebook messages that I really could bring up saying that I couldn't do it because I was hurt. But because I work through Facebook and Snapchat, so social media
So
or
these
word
are
of mouth.
So what these purport to be are allegedly receipts
That I would give the
whatever
customer.
your business is.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do in your business.
It's holistic, spiritual, natural business. It's called Beast Collection.
Okay, and so you're stating that you were not able to perform work
Or leave the house. This is when some of them are when I hurt my leg, some of them because the porch was messed up so people couldn't come into the house and we couldn't leave the house. When I was on crutches for a week is the dates from in August. There's also some on here when the water was messed up, so I couldn't use it, but I know that you didn't. There's some when I didn't have water either. So I couldn't do certain things, but he was specifically asking for the dates that I fell or went to urgent care or when the porch wasn't fixed for 4 or 5 days, because there's been two different instances where the porch wasn't fixed, where people couldn't get up on the porch or I couldn't get down off the porch. Some days were when my mother would come and she couldn't get up on the porch, so she couldn't come and get her packages.
receipts from when your mom would come?
Yeah, there's a few of these where she couldn't get up on the porch.
Okay, I see this. Mom, is that what it says? Mom Willa?
Yeah, her name is Willa Buckner.
Okay, why would he pay you $200 because your mom couldn't come to your house?
No, that's her. That's what her cost was for her package.
What do you mean her package?
These are all receipts for me missing money out of my business due to the porch. So this is money.
You gotta help me understand, how are you missing money? Because I saw the pictures of the porch, okay? I understand that
I
there
was
was
on crutches for a week.
Ma'am, don't cut me off while I'm mid-sentence. I understand that there was issues with the porch, and so, but there was another entrance, correct?
Yeah, but it has a bin of dirt that it's really hard to move.
Who put the bin of dirt there?
I did, but it's the gates are completely all messed up. There's no way that people can get through there. I wouldn't even want people to get through there. Like the metal's all messed up, like the gates are very raggedy. I would not want anybody to try to go through that. What does that mean? They're poking out. It's really unsafe for people to get through the back.
The gates open or closed?
The gates are closed.
So it doesn't open?
Not quite. It opens and there's like metal that pokes out when you open it. So we just keep it closed. Like it's very unsafe. My kids don't even go through that way. We don't go through that way. Nobody goes through that way at all.
Okay, so you're stating that you, because the stairs needed to be replaced and or because you suffered injury from use of these stairs, that your mom, for example, mom products, which was mask, oil, soap, clean, $200.
I couldn't leave my house to give her products.
You were gonna give her mask, oil, soap? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it's like a package. Yes, I hand make everything from
Okay.
natural items.
Okay, and so she couldn't come and get them?
No, she can't drive. She would be here every court date if she could.
So what you're telling me is that you needed to get something to your mom on August 1st, but you couldn't get it because the stairs were broken. And I'm looking at these stairs. Even when they're broken, the porch is not that high.
There's been two instances, either when I was in crutches or in the boot, or when the stairs were messed up, completely off during that time.
Okay.
So there's been two instances where I couldn't get my products to my mother. Not just because the stairs were messed up, because when I left urgent care, I was in a boot for a week, then I was in crutches for a week, I couldn't walk for a week. Like, there was a lot of time where I couldn't even get off the couch.
So explain to me this. After you fell, how did you get back in the house?
I was in crutches. Actually, my fiance carried me into the house.
Up the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. And so for a week, you didn't have any deliveries, you didn't have anything?
I couldn't. I couldn't have any, I couldn't get up to walk to make the products. I had to walk around to go to each station of my house and make the holistic products.
So what is the $200 fee on that particular?
That is how much her package costs.
Her package meaning what? What you were gonna make?
What I make for her.
Okay. So you make masks, oil, soap, and
I make a lot of
clean?
things. Yep, I do placenta encapsulation. I mean, I do a lot of things. Everything's natural, everything's homemade, so it takes time. I package it in a nice, beautiful box with roses and everything. It takes a lot of time.
Explain to me how you make a mask, oil, soap, and clean.
Okay, so the cleansing of her house would have me been going over there and saging her house and cleaning it for her. The mask is with bentonite clay. I make moon water underneath the full moon, pour it into the mask, mix it with essential oils, add whatever kind of scent they would like, natural herbs, sometimes let it sit in the sun. The candles are beeswax candles, so I go onto my stove, I have to melt the pellets, I pour the pellets into the candles, I wait for the candles, cut the wood wicks, I put essential oils into the candles, I put crystals into the candles and herbs into the candles, wait for them to dry. It's a long process. What else was on there? I also make her beef liver and apple cider vinegar capsules. So, and I do those hand by hand, scoop them and mend them in my mortar.
How often do you do this for your mom?
I do this probably 3 times a month, honestly.
Oh, so 3 times a month, your mom is paying you $200?
Yes.
Show me proof.
I would have this.
No, proof that she's paying you $200, not your handwritten receipt that you wrote yourself.
I would need her to be here.
Or you can provide me a bank statement, you can show me a cash app, you can show me a Zelle.
She doesn't do any of the cash app.
Oh, all these payments are in cash?
Yep, all them are cash.
Oh,
and then
okay.
she gave me a gift certificate to get a massage one time that she got gifted. So she gave me one of those. I don't usually like to take the money for it, but she'll sneak in and give it to me sometimes.
Why are you? Yeah, because who's charging their mom for anything, right?
I don't.
Okay, so why did you submit the receipt?
Because he wanted them.
No, he wanted receipts.
I wanted receipts for myself.
You're talking over me. He wanted receipts for lost wages. I said that I believe that you suffered an injury, and I think it was just for 2 days. I see a lot of other dates on here, so I'm trying to understand and go through this because I'm using the picture that he provided. You presented a receipt for February 20th, $600.
That was one of the dates when the water didn't work. Until he told me that he needed ones that I fell. These are also dates of other things that didn't work in the house. When I came to court, I came here for other things, the water not working, the heat, everything else. But you said we're just gonna stick to the porch.
I didn't say I'm just gonna stick to the porch. I said I didn't find any cause of action for the water. I don't think that that you suffered reasonable for me to have to make him pay damages for the water not being off. And I was pretty liberal because I don't have any evidence here where you even told him, hey, my water's not working, and he was like, well, it's going to take me forever to get over there. I don't have any of that. He produced receipts of where when you did request certain things within a reasonable time frame, someone was there other than the porch. I felt like the porch was the only issue that was not addressed within reasonable time frame.
There was times that the heat was gone for days.
You provided zero evidence of that.
I have all the text messages I gave you. There was days I said.
I'm not reading all those text messages, and you didn't even produce text messages in appropriate format. I told you that at the last hearing. I'm not going to try to figure out in piecemeal which order this is supposed to be in. You told me that you were missing some of the responses because your phone switched over or whatever it was. That's not my job to present your case for you. You were supposed to present to me if you had a text message that showed on this date, I contacted him, said my heat's not working. You were supposed to show me that chain of communication and his response in order. If I gotta start putting things in order, then it's not getting entered. And so we went through that at the last hearing. I gave a order at the last hearing that I believe that you should get reasonable damages for the slip and falls, is what I said. Or from what you lost during those slip and falls. I didn't give you any cause of action for anything else.
The last court date, you asked me to put them in order, and I did. I put them in order for when I was out of heat, and I also gave you pictures of when my heat was, when the heat was low for days. This is proof of me not be, I'd had a boot for like a week and crutches for a week.
I've already granted a cause of action for your slip and fall. That's not an issue. Now we're trying to determine how much is reasonable to be ordered for you to be paid for that. Cut me off one more time and I'm done. Now, as to your text message issues, ma'am, your text messages were not in order. We went through this at length. I had to take a break to let you get them in order at one point. I still have them here, and they're still not in order. You make reference to some of them about I didn't have heat for weeks, but you didn't provide anything to support that. Meaning, if you have an issue, let's say it's flooding in my house, it's my responsibility if I'm renting to tell my landlord of the issue. From that date, the clock's going to tick as to how long it takes for him to get it fixed. You've not been able to provide that time frame. You did show me some pictures of your thermostat, which are here. However, he provided evidence of where he sent someone out immediately to get it fixed. Not weeks. It was immediate. I can't give you anything unless you can show me, no, he didn't send anybody immediately. It took him weeks. That's not the evidence that I had. So that's why you didn't get a cause of action for that. We're only dealing with the injuries or the time, and you're saying you're operating a business through your home. So I can understand why I would question your receipts too, if you're handwriting all these receipts and you can't provide evidence of where these receipts are verifiable, because you could go get a receipt book and write all this stuff up right now.
So like you meant a Cash App statement? Is that what you're talking about?
Anything to support that this is actually a business that you were running and that you lost the business. You say you have some text messages where you show me where you had to cancel these orders. Show me where the person, Emily, placed an order for the placenta encapsulation and you had to cancel and suffered a loss of $600.
Like Facebook messages?
Where I don't know how you make your business. If they book this service through Facebook or text, show me. Well, I just asked for Emily. That was from February 2023.
This is Reinhardt or Born?
Born.
February.
This is February 20th on this receipt, 2023.
So she ended up calling me because she was coaching a baseball team right here. And then she also told me that she would make my website for me right afterwards. This is we called on the phone though. This is when she ended up calling me.
I don't want to see her in a conversation where she calls you. Show me where you had to cancel.
I had talked to her on the phone. That's why she was coaching, so she called me and I told her through the phone. Verbally.
She called that you were canceling?
Yeah.
Okay, show me where she booked it, because you told me you do this through messaging.
Yeah, this was through messengers.
Show me where you talked about this receipt that you provided me. Because these receipts would represent to me that that's what you got paid, not what's owed to you. That's what receipts show me. You got to show me where you sent them these invoices.
So this is where she asked me to bring it to her, and I actually stated in this that I was dealing with court with my landlord, and this is, I want to say, February 14th. And she was at the hospital during this time.
And she said she's at the hospital?
Yeah, she was in the hospital at this time.
No, it says that in the text message, what you're saying?
Yeah. This is, I actually went up to the hospital and her mom was dying, so I had given her CMOS. And that's when she asked me if I could do the placenta encapsulation for her wife.
Okay, all these things are hearsay unless she's here to tell me that. If you can't tell me or show me where you sent these people these invoices for this service that they contracted you for.
Yes.
And that because of the issues at the property preventing you from leaving because you were injured or whatever, that you had to now cancel and lose that money, then I can't award you. These are receipts. We typically in business give receipts after we receive money.
Yes.
You show me receipts. This is not an invoice.
I would have to go through every single person through there and their messages and print them out through my Facebook. Or if I call, or if I talk to them, because a lot of the people, they would be like, I'm inquiring about your products, and I would call them on the phone.
But it's your burden to prove. I gave you 2 months. You bringing me receipts, this to me looks like you got paid this for the work that you got done. This is not, I lost this money because I wasn't able to do that. Because we don't give out receipts when we lose money.
This was me documenting everything. That's why I said it's amount paid is 0, amount owed is 600.
That's not on all of them.
These are the ones.
That's not on all that. Some of them just say $600 balance due. That doesn't tell me that you weren't able to, that you had to cancel and that you didn't perform these duties. You're not meeting your burden. You have to show me that you suffered these losses, that you were not able to perform these duties. Not that they didn't pay for it. Not that you gave them a receipt for it, but that you were not able to perform it. I cancel. This is where I cancel. You're running a business. Are you?
Yeah.
Do you have a website?
Yeah.
Okay. So people just call you randomly and you don't send them an invoice?
No, I don't.
Okay, well
I
then
word of mouth. A lot of my business is through Facebook. I'm heavily known, and when people inquire or write on my comments on my Facebook, I usually call them and ask them what they want. It's better for me to speak to somebody through the phone with my type of spiritual connection other than texting through on there.
That's fine, but sound business people follow up with an invoice. This is what we discussed. This is what your invoice is. Because I can get off the phone with you later and I thought I heard you say it was $300 and you said it was $600. Why would, if you never had a meeting of the minds unless you followed up later and told him what that was. What you're showing or what you've showed him are just random receipts from different time frames, which I have to question, because if I look at the receipt numbers on here, they're sequential, but one has an April date on it. One has a July date on it, and one is in February 2024. So you must think that we're all idiots and that you had number 07726895894 893 all right next to each other.
I don't know what that means.
That's the numbers. When you get a receipt book, they are numbered. You have two separate receipt books. These receipt books have numbers, and the ones you provided to him are in sequential order, meaning they happen right after each other. But the dates are not right after each other.
I'm not seeing that.
I'm seeing it.
I'm only seeing one that's right after each other.
They're all right after each other, man. At least when you provided him, because he has pictures of them here.
This is everything that I had right here, and I only see one that's right after each other.
They're all right after each other.
And these are on the same day, so I mean, these are on the same days. I'm in the 8/1 and 8/1/23.
Invoice ending in 6895 has a date of April 22nd, 2023. It's for Bree Klein, I believe. That was April 2023. You have another one. Invoice is one up from there, 894. So that would precede the one that is in April, but it's from July. Then almost a year later, from the April invoice, you have one that ends in 890. But we were already at 895 and 894. So either you're not doing a lot of business at all because you didn't move invoice numbers, at least based on what you've submitted here. And the other thing is, it's going in the wrong order.
Is this when I was pregnant?
You're asking me? How would I know when you were pregnant? How would I know when you were pregnant?
I think I was pregnant during this time. When I fell down the stairs when I was pregnant, is you just said 8/9?
No, I said the invoice numbers ending in 895 and 894 and 890. They're not even in close proximity to each other. Time frame. Meaning, if I did work for you today, I'm going to issue an invoice number 1. Tomorrow will be invoice number 2. If I do 3 things tomorrow, the next day it'll be 3, 4, and 5. That yours aren't going in that order. They're all over the place, but the invoice numbers are in order, which would represent to me that you made these up. That's what this represents to me. And that you made them up after the fact.
I didn't.
Their time frames are not aligning. There are also receipts. Receipts to me are not invoices. They're not, they indicate to me where you received money. And these things here tell me where doesn't even tell me you didn't provide the service. It says here, Emily Bourne, placenta encapsulation, $600, amount paid, 0, but the amount due is $600. So you must have done the work and she owes you $600. What does that got to do with him?
No, it's about due.
No, amount due is what she owes you.
Yes, that's how much she owes me.
Yeah, what's that got to do with him?
I didn't give her the products. I didn't go. I couldn't go anywhere.
You did the work.
No, I didn't.
That's what this receipt says.
No, I have her placentic encapsulation still to this day.
Well, that's your fault that you still have her placentic encapsulation from February 2023.
And I wrote I couldn't travel during these.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you give it to her now?
Well, she's been gone for a while.
Your matters, no cost. You're not getting anything. You haven't provided any proof to support it. I don't believe what you're saying. It makes no sense. You're telling me you have somebody's encapsulation from 2023. We're almost in 2025. You could have gotten your money then. What does that have to do with him? You were supposed to provide evidence of where this slip and fall or the time lapse in him getting the stairs properly fixed either caused you injury, personal injury that you had to pay medical bills for, and or where it cost you a loss to whatever your business or finances are. You provided me receipts. Receipts show me you did the work, but you didn't get paid from the person you did the work to. Has nothing to do with him. You're also not providing me sequential invoices. If these are supposed to be invoices, and some of them are for hair, I'm not sure what's going on there, but they're not. The invoice numbers are literally in sequential order, but the dates are not. They're all over the place, which lets me believe that you made these up after the fact. You have a responsibility to present your case, not just that there was you suffered, something happened, but that they owe you some money because of that, and you have not done that, man. So for that, I got to return damages at 0. Any additional matters for the record? I'm going to need an order. Okay, you present an order for the court.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of your, what is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're gonna start bringing people in person. You're gonna learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it? Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, out of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.